Yes, we're live. Yes, I think we're live. My control unit, my Stream Deck, is playing up this week, so I've got to do everything manually through my mouse. So you'll see me leaning forward and chewing the microphone. But welcome to this week's live stream, and welcome to some new members that have joined. Notice the numbers are creeping up. I think we've got about 280 odd members now. If you know anybody that might be interested in this kind of thing, a fool like me sat here singing songs and telling stories, then share it around. I don't mind. If you're on YouTube and watching through YouTube, then please subscribe, please like, please comment, anything you want to say. It's all there, it's open, and hit the notification button as well while you're at it. So this week I decided that I'm going to do some Irish songs. I've not done Irish. I love Irish songs. I've been over there a few times and absolutely love it. And so I decided this week, I thought, right, I had the banjo out last week, and I was doing some contemporary songs that work on the banjo. And this week, I thought to myself, well, I'll do some Irish stuff. Now, I'm just going to... Yeah, looks like I'm coming through. If anybody is out there, please comment. Just let me know you're in the house, as it were, and tell me that everything's coming through. I'm plugged into the banjo, but I'm just coming through this mic, so I'm hoping that I've got the balance right, because this thing can really cut through over my voice. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. This is a song. This first one is a song that was made famous. I mean, it's an old song, an old Irish tune, but it was made famous by, of course, Thin Lizzy, and I bet you know which one it is. And it was a big hit for them, and it's called Whiskey in the Jar. As I was going over the far famed Kerry Mountains, well, I met with Captain Farrell, and his money he was counting. Well, I first produced my pistol, and then produced my rapier. I said, now stand and deliver, for you are the bold deceiver. Mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar, oh. Well, mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, I counted out his money, and it was a pretty penny. So I put it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. Now Jenny swore she loved me. She said she'd not deceive me, but the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, I went into my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and for sure it was no rumder. But Jenny drew me charges, and she filled them up with water. Then she sent for Captain Carroll, and money I was slaughter. Well, mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, mushroom dum doo dum da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. It was early in the morning as I rose up to travel. The guards were all around me, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for she stole away my rapier, but I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some mine take delight in the drinking and the roving, and others take delight in the gambling and the smoking. But I just take delight in the juices of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning bright and early. Musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, it's my brother in the army. If I can find his station down in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll come and see me, we'll go roving in Kilkenny, and I swear he'll treat me better than me own darling Jenny. Mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o now, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Musherim dum-a-doo dum-a-da, whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. There you go, whiskey in the jar. And some of these songs could be called rebel songs. They call them rebel songs over in Ireland. I went to Dublin a few years ago now, be about 10 maybe longer years ago, and spent some time over there, and it was absolutely brilliant. But there was a tour I went on of the local jail, and the stories that come out of the jail. There's a jailer, or there's a, I don't know what you call them, a curate that goes round with you and explains exactly what happened. And it was actually it was 2016, because it was a centenary of the 1916 rebel uprising against the British over there. And in the jail, it was literally, it was a stone bed with straw on it, and it was the middle of winter, and it was ice cold, and it was just stone. That's all it was. And there were people shot there for being rebels, rising up. And it was very moving, some of the stories. But as you're walking down round there, there's a display of stuff, some of the shackles that they used, and that kind of thing. And there was a thing there called the old triangle. And this triangle, they used to beat it, and that was the signal to either come in or to go out or to get your dinner. Your dinner was coming. And but the thing was the jailers didn't give you the dinner. The prison didn't give you the dinner. Your friends and relations had to bring the food in for you, otherwise you starved. That's how rough it was. But this is a song, and it's called The Old Triangle. It's a hungry feeling that came me stealing, and the mice, they were squealing in my prison cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Oh, to start the morning, well, the wardens were bawling, you get up, you bowsy, and clean out your cell. And the old triangle went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Oh, the screw he was peeping while the loik he was sleeping, as he laid for his girl and he's weeping for Sal. And the old triangle, it went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. On a fine spring morning, where the loikie went dreaming, and the seagulls were swinging high above. And the old triangle, it went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. And the wind it was sighing, and the day it was dying, as the loik were crying in his prison cell. And the old triangle, it went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. In the women's prison, there were 70 women, and I wish I was with them. I did so well. And the old triangle, it went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Yeah, the old triangle, it went jingle and jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. The old triangle, and it's a great place to visit, Dublin. There's a hell of a lot of pubs, and I got round most of them. We stayed in the Temple Bar, and it's like the centre, and it was great because there was buskers all around, and there was all these great pubs. And we got on the bus. There's a bus, an open-top bus that does a tour round Ireland, round Dublin, and it takes you to the prison and Kilmarnock prison, and it takes you up to the park, and it takes you down the main drag where all the trouble was in 1916, and and it's the ticket then. I mean, it's 2016. It might have gone up a bit, but back then the price was I think it was 15 quid. You got 15 quid, and it took you all the way round. But this was a killer. You got buy one get one free in was it Mulligan's bar on the food, so you could get a meal and get a full meal free. So that was 14 quid for, I think it's 14 quid for 2 meals, and only cost us 7. So we got 7 quid back. And then the killer was we went into a bar called I think it was the VAT bar. I think it was a VAT bar it's called. And if you went in there with your bus ticket, if you had to have your bus ticket on the day, you got a free pint of Guinness. Now, the Guinness back then was £5.50 a pint. I don't know how much it is now, because it's probably £5.50 over here. But and there's a saying. They say that that the Guinness tastes better over there, and believe me, it does. It just goes down. It's just beautiful. But it's probably the water from the Liffey. I never went on the Guinness tour. There's a Guinness tour, and you get to learn how to pull your own pint of Guinness when they've took you around the factory and showed you how they make the Guinness and what have you. But it was 28 quid then. And I thought, ooh, just to pull your own pint. I thought, well, I got an idea how it's, how it's made. So I'll just go in the pub and have a pint myself and save the 28 quid. But it was a great holiday. Fantastic it was. And we actually, Ryanair, we actually got a seat on the plane on Ryanair, because they did talk about actually having you standing up and just leaning on a rail, because it's literally 30 minutes. It's 29 minutes from taking off at Manchester to landing in Dublin. The flight is 29 minutes. And so they're coming down the aisle, the trolley dollies, with the trolley, and saying, hey, would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a biscuit? Want to buy some perfume? And by the time they got to the end, you're bleeding landing. Well, there was a lad in front of us, and he always said, I'll have a cup of tea. So he pours a cup of tea, and he literally had a couple of sips, and he's just about to take another sip. He said, you'll have to give me the tea back now, we're landing. So that was that. So he paid like 3 quid for a cup of bloody tea. But we actually got the deal online, and the 2 of us went for 4 days. It was a day travelling, 3 days there and a day back. So really, it was a 5-day trip. And for the 2 of us, it was $3.75. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can get that anymore. But it worked out that because we went at 7 o'clock in the morning and come back at 7 o'clock at night, that's the worst time that nobody wants to go. So the flights actually cost us £5 each for me and my wife. Unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway, now this next song I'm going to sing is not actually an Irish song. Everybody thinks it is, but it's not. It's actually written not so long ago by a fella. Let's just see who's in the house. Patrick, hello, good evening. John Murray, Muzzer, the Manchester poet. We should, what's it called? Should get you on, come in with me and you can do some poetry, John. Right, and who else we got in there? No one else is in there, but we've got a few watching. So forgot to turn the bloody sound down on that. Right, so yeah, Ewan McCall. That's who wrote this next song, Ewan McCall. It was actually Kirsty McCall's father. Kirsty McCall, of course, is the girl that sung with the Pogues' Shane MacGowan on the famous Christmas song. You know which one I mean, don't you? Yeah. And but she sadly she died in a speedboat accident in I think it was Mexico. I think Mexico or Brazil, one of the two. If you know which one it is, put it in the comments, and I'll know. But yeah, it was a speedboat. She was swimming, and you can imagine the rest. And the fella that actually did it got away with it because he was sort of royalty, so to speak. And he got his captain to take the rap for him, but he was driving the boat. And there was a like a what do you call it? There was you know, collecting money to push this through the courts in Brazil or Mexico, whichever one it was, and I think it was Brazil, and they were fighting it, but they needed a load of money to fight through the courts to get him to own up. But sadly, I don't think they did. I've not heard anything about it. I did read a bit about it, and they were trying to raise money to fight it and get justice. You know, but she died. Doesn't really make much difference if you're dead, does it? Anyway, so this song, I'm going to put my capo on, I think, for this, so that I can get the high notes, the high C's. And this song, of course, this song was written about a dirty old town. It was actually written about Salford because the smoke and the smog was that bad in Salford. Of course, Ewan McCall wrote this song, and it's called Dirty Old Town. I met my love by the gasworks wall, and I dreamed a dream of the old canal, and I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. The clouds are drifting across the moon, and the cats are crawling on their beat. Spring's a girl on the streets at night. Well, it's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. I heard a siren from the docks, and I saw a train set the night on fire, and I spilled the spring on the smoky wind. It's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. I'm gonna make me a good sharp axe of shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. It's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. Well, it's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. Yes, it's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. Dirty old town there. All about smelly old Salford. My dad was actually a Salford lad. That's where my dad come from. I, of course, was born in Hardwick. Right, okay. This one is another 3/4 song. So, yeah, this one is all about a Black Velvet Band. And this was made famous, of course, by the wonderful Dubliners. And the fella that used to sing this was Luke Kelly. Luke Kelly was a big strapper of a fella with a big shock of ginger curly hair and a big ginger beard. As all the Dubliners were all hairy fellas, you know. They all grew the beards. At a time, it was sort of in the 60s and 70s, at a time when most people were trying to look slick. These fellas went the other way. These fellas went a little bit wild and airy, and they started off in a bar called O'Donoghue's. And it's a mecca. It's an absolute, for anybody that likes the Dubliners songs, it's an absolute mecca. And when I went over there, I spent a couple of nights in there. The Guinness was unbelievable, but the crack was second to none. I mean, everybody was in there. All over the walls, on every wall, you've got pictures and photographs of the Dubliners, and you know, everybody's in there, and there's always someone sat in the corner with a banjo or a fiddle or any instrument, you know, uilleann, playing the uilleann pipes, or you know, just everything. The boran, you know, doing the old boran, and you know, and once they start, that's it then. Well, that bloody Guinness, it starts flowing, because the faster the tempo, the faster you're drinking. But the thing is, it takes that long to pull. The barmen are actually pulling pints all the time. So they've got a board, and that board is sort of like, you've got the top of the bar, then you've got the bottom of the bar, and then you've got the taps on the bar, and just below, you've got this, like, board. And on this board, they're pulling pints, because it takes that long for this stout to come out, and they can't push it too fast, because if they do, you just get a head about that big, and it's just horrible. So what they do is they pull it nice and slow, and then they pour it, they let it settle, and then they pour it again, let it settle, and then they just top it up, so you've got, you know, just a nice creamy head on it, and then they put it on the board. And then as soon as people are coming up and saying, I'll have a pint of Guinness, there you go. It's there, it's ready. And they time it just right. You think to yourself, oh, there'll be one sat there for ages and it go flat. It doesn't. It doesn't. They're clocking you. Because I was talking to the lad, I said, how the bleeding hell do you do that without letting it go flat? He said, we're clocking you. He said, you get a pint now. He said, we know in 20 minutes you're going to be coming back, or 15 minutes, depending on how fast you drink. He said, some of these lads are coming back in 5 minutes. He said, but we know who they are. They're greedy bastards. He said, but, you know, we're pulling it in, and away they go. And Centre Road, I was in there. Oh, it's just fantastic. I'd advise anybody to go. Absolutely fantastic. So the Black Velvet Band. In a neat little town, let's try it in the third capo, because I might be able to drop my voice a bit there. Every time I put a capo on, what it does is it changes the note. That I'm still playing the same G, but the G's actually moving up and down the neck, which makes it easy, because it's not where you start in the song, it's where you have to go to. It's the high parts, and that's the thing. So let's try it in capo 3. In a neat little town. No, let's try it there. Try it there. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that. In a neat little town they call Belfast, an apprentice to trade I was bound. and many is an hour sweet happiness I've had in this neat little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. And her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down the Broadway, meaning not long for to stay, when who should I meet but a pretty fair maid come tripping along the highway. She was both fair and handsome, and her neck it was just like a swan's, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. And her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Well, I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid, and a gentleman passing us by. Well, I knew she meant the doing of him by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket, and she placed it right there in my hand. And the very next thing I said was bad luck to the black velvet band. For her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I loved her the queen of the land. And her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the judge and the jury, next morning I had to appear, and the judge he said to me, young man, your case is proven quite clear. We'll give you 7 years penal servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and companions, betrayed by the black velvet band. And her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair it hung over her shoulder, straight up like a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellows, a warning be taken by me. When you are out on the town, me lads, beware of the pretty colleens. They'll fill you up with strong drink, oh yeah, till you are unable to stand. And the very next thing that you know is you've landed in Van Diemen's Land. And her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone just like diamonds, and I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. There you go. There you go. The Black Velvet Band. So, what time are we on? Right. I'm going to do 2 more songs, and then I'm going to bugger off and leave you to it. This next song is a song actually all about King John. I think it's King John. An old king, King John V, I think it is. And what he liked to do was to get dressed up as a beggar and go into the towns and villages, unbeknown to the people that he was a king. And he used to pull the birds. Those fellas know all about that, don't they? He used to go into the pubs and crack on. There was just a jolly beggar. But he wasn't. He was a very rich man. But he used to get his own way, and that was it. That was what he did. He liked doing it. This is called The Jolly Beggar. Was a jolly beggar man, he came tripping o'er the plain, and he called upon the farmer's door the lodgings for to gain. Well, the farmer's daughter, he looked down and looked him cheek and chin. She says he is a handsome man, I pray you let him in. I will go no more the roving, a-roving in the night. We'll go no more the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. I think I got something in the back of my throat. The back of my throat there. It happens. Oh, I think it might have been a bit of dust out of this thing. I've not. Yeah, it is. I've not played in this D harmonica for a bit, and bit of dust. Right, I'm going to start again. There was a jolly beggar man, he came tripping o'er the plain, and he called upon the farmer's door the lodgings for to gain. Well, the farmer's daughter, she came down and viewed him cheek and chin. She says he is a handsome man, I pray you let him in. We'll go no more the roving, a-roving in the night. We'll go no more the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. We'll go no more the roving now, a-roving in the night. We'll go no more the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. Said we'll go no more the roving. Well, he would not sleep within the barn, nor yet within the byre, but he would sleep down in the car beside the kitchen fire. Then the beggar's bed was made of good clean sheets and hay, and down beside that fire that jolly beggar lay. I will go no more the roving, a-roving in the night. We'll go no more the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. We'll go no more the roving now, a-roving in the night. So we'll go no more the roving now, the moon it shines so bright. I say we'll go no more the roving. Now the farmer's daughter, she came down to bolt the kitchen door, and there she saw the beggar standing naked on the floor. The beggar took her in his arms and to the bed he ran. Kind sir, she says, be easy now, you'll waken our good man. we're gonna mow the roving, roving in the night. We're gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. Gonna mow the roving now, we're roving in the night. We're gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. I said we're gonna mow the roving. Well, she lay as still as any mouse, as if she had been dead. And the beggar, he jumped in with her and stole her maidenhead. Now you are no beggar, for you are some gentleman, and you have stole my maidenhead, and I am quite undone. We're gonna mow the roving, roving in the night. We're gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. Gonna mow the roving now, we're roving in the night. We're gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. I said we're gonna mow the roving. Well, I am no lord, I am no squire, of beggars I be one, and beggars there are robbers, and you are quite undone. So she took the bed in both her hands, and she threw it at the wall, said, go now with your beggar man, your maidenhead and all. We're gonna mow the roving, roving in the night. We're gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. Gonna mow the roving now, roving in the night. Gonna mow the roving, let the moon it shine so bright. Gonna mow the roving. Your eyes are watering now. Oh, I don't know. Right, I think we've got as far as we should do now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing one more, and then I'm just looking through it, pick which one I fancy doing. I've got loads and loads of songs here. Raggle Taggle Gypsy, Molly Malone, The Seven Drunken Nights, Spencer Hill, The Wayfaring Train. No, that's not one. Any road. I'll do this one. Everybody knows this one. I've been a wild rover for many's a year, and I've spent all my money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. I called on an ale house I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money's all spent. Well, I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. She said, customers yours I can have any day, and it's no, and it's nay, and it's never, no, never, no more I took from my pocket centaurin's bright, and the landlady's legs opened up with delight. She said, I have beer and wines of the best, and the words that I told you were only in jest, and it's no, and it's nay, and it's never. No, never, no more will I play the wire rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, and it's nay, and it's never. No, never, no more will I play the wire rover. No, never, no more. I'll go home to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they give me as oft times before, well, I never will play the wild rover no more. And this no, and this nay, and this never. No, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And this no, nay, never. No, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. The wild rover there. Right, that's it. I've had enough, and I think you have too. So don't forget, every Thursday I'm always here, and it's 8 o'clock on Facebook, live from GJ's house, and don't forget that. Let's see if I can click on that. This is the poster for my gig at the Globe in Glossop on the 12th of November. The doors open at 8 o'clock. It's £5 of your English pounds, and you can pay by cash or card. It doesn't matter which to me, as long as you come. So you're all invited. You can all come and have a good old time, and there'll be songs and stories and a couple of jokes and that kind of thing. So hopefully you'll turn up and it won't be raining. So there you go. It's the week after bonfire night, Saturday, 12th of November. Don't forget it. I won't let you. So until next week, take care of yourself, and you all be cool now. I'll see you later. If I can find the click. And there we